Hi, and welcome back to Clay Center Corner. I'm Rudy Airwood. I work with marketing at the Clay Center for the Arts and Sciences of West Virginia. And we're back this week to talk about all the things we have coming up in April at the Clay Center. And just to remind you, we have 4 main branches at the Clay Center that include our Planetarium, our Discovery Museum, our Art Museum, and of course, our gorgeous Mayor Performance Hall. So we're going to talk about all of the things going on in all of the places this week. I'm also joined by Leah Dunmar, who helps out with all of our fundraising and all those sponsorship efforts at the Clay Center, because without those donors and whatnot, we could not function without it. So Leah knows that better than anybody. So first things first, we want to talk about some new programming we have coming up in our Planetarium. So it's been a while since we've had live programming there on a regular basis. So we are so excited to be welcoming back our actual live programming, our new Planetarium person, as well as some new things going on during Spring Fling, which is every Saturday in April. But first things first, we want Thaddeus Papke, our Director of Education, to tell you a little bit more about our new Planetarium show, Spring Skies.
Hi, I'm Thaddeus Papke, Director of Education and Visitor Experiences here at the Clay Center, and I am so excited for our Spring Skies live star shows at the Caperton Planetarium here at the Clay Center every day at 3 p.m. and also 11 a.m. on Saturdays. Begin by looking at what you could see if you were to go outside and look up sometime in these early spring months. If you were to go outside on a clear night, you would see a sky much like this. You get a guided tour of the skies at night this spring, where we take you to look for constellations. You draw a straight line kind of out of the cup. The first bright star you come to is the North Star. And as we've discussed before, you can think about how they're useful for telling the time of year and your location. If you know what you're seeing, you can tell. We talk about some deep sky objects that astronomers are studying. So what we have here is the first captured image ever of a black hole. Talk about some breaking news, go into deep space, while keeping things as grounded as possible to give you that practical advice for finding the stars and constellations that you can see yourselves out there. And one of the things the Big Dipper can help us find is the North Star. We're really excited for this show because it's our return to live facilitated programming, and we're pleased to have this be part of our Spring Fling activities happening right here at the Clay Center all throughout the month of April.
All right, we're super excited. I finally got to see that show for the first time here recently, and it is just so cool, so interactive, great for all ages. Thaddeus and his team do a great job of putting it on the age level of whoever is there in our planetarium. So make sure you come out and check it out now. Not only, like Thaddeus said, every Saturday, but every day now in the Clay Center. And also we have movies that are still happening, a few new times now from what they've previously been in the past, but we still have the Arctic, Planet 9, Superpower Dogs, and also our Country Roads special that go on every day. You can come check out those actual planetarium times every day. Bring your family anytime. It is in addition to our regular admission, so you can pick out whichever movie time you want to experience. And it's just such a cool thing to actually get in there in this IMAX theater, to be surrounded and actually just kind of be enthralled with the show itself that's going on. Leah, do you ever go into the planetarium?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, okay, my favorite is the Superpower Dog show, because
that's one I haven't seen, actually.
Oh my gosh, you
I
have
have
to.
not seen that yet.
Oh, the doggos are so brave.
Oh, I bet.
It's so
I bet. I'll have to
sweet.
check that one out next.
Yeah, you have to. So, but anyway, like Thaddeus was also talking in that video, we have Spring Fling going on now too. Spring Fling kicked off actually it's so fun because actually there are so many Saturdays in April. So there's a lot of different chances that people get to actually come and experience everything we have going on. So I know they're doing Ukrainian egg decorating. Egg decorating, as well as they do egg drops. So we have like both science and art, which obviously that encompasses both things. We are at the Clay Center that families get to enjoy. I know we have a the Spring Skies show, obviously, and then I know we also have some other things going on in our exhibits as well. That education team just stays so busy
I
all
tell you
the
what, the
time.
ideas that they have too, with the Ukrainian eggs that you mentioned,
I
I'd say
know,
the
right?
pictures of the examples that they have done to prepare for those workshops,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, they're
I've never seen
gorgeous.
anything like it.
Yeah, and we had a great turnout the first weekend, I know, but again, there's 5 Saturdays in April, so don't feel bad if you're just now seeing this. You haven't missed out yet. Make sure you come out. They're doing all those activities from 11 to 4 every Saturday through the month of April. Now, also talking about our education team more, I feel like I'm just always bragging on them, but they're so good. They're
They are
just so
incredible.
good. But they also have their Discovery Day camps coming up. So those of you, especially in Kanawha County, that may have the days off from school, if you're looking for childcare or options for your kids whenever you're still having to work and get out there. Friday, April 15th and Monday, April 18th, you can literally bring them in the morning and they will get to experience something maybe a little more fun than the regular school day, but there's also an element of education in there as well. We still have spots available for those right now, so make sure that you go online to theclaycenter.org and you can enroll your child in one of those day camps coming up here in April. Now, along with that, we also have a homeschool day. So most of the time, you know, the Discovery Day camps are mostly our public school kids. But homeschool day, we have all of these activities. I believe it's circuitry that's coming up here in April for the homeschool days. So made for different age groups. You can come in and enjoy those, bring your family, bring other students that are involved, and check out all those activities that they have to offer. And I know I get asked all the time about what our homeschool options are from people. I think it's so nice to actually, especially parents that got used to teaching their own during the pandemic and are still continuing to homeschool. It's nice to get that little break and let us kind of hop in there and help you out too. And our education team, they just do a great job coming up with the programming for that. Along with that, when you come to visit, you can also check out all of our exhibits that are happening, especially our newest exhibit right now. It's a traveling exhibit that's going to be here through the summer. It's the When the Earth Shakes exhibit. And if you've been watching Clay Corner at all, you've seen Thaddeus take it on a couple tours throughout there, and they actually get to see how, you know, plate tectonics work and tsunamis and so much. Really, really interesting. It's in there. We had a lot of kids in there today checking it out, I know. So if you can come, check out that exhibit. But as well as that, we also have our permanent exhibits all the time in the Clay Center. You can check out, okay, I'm going to have you tell me what your favorite is in a minute because I totally have a favorite. But we have Healthy Me, we have Waterworks, we have the Music Studio, we have My Town downstairs. Obviously, we have our climbing sculpture, but kids get to go and check those out. You know, anytime you visit the Clay Center, those are permanent. Those are always in there. Leah, what's your favorite one?
Music studio.
Music Studio.
Gotta
What do
go
you like
music
doing in
studio.
there? Is it the laser harp? 'Cause
Of
it's
course.
awesome.
The laser harp
is so cool.
I want to be good at it so bad. I want to just go in there and just shred some harp, but
Shred some harp. That, you know, whenever I think of classic music
Just
and
shred it.
it's shredding the
Shredding
harp
the
is
harp.
what I really love. You know, I feel like whenever Mozart and those different guys were putting things
what they
together,
did.
they were like, you know, I could really go for a
Just
good
shred that.
shredding piece right now
Absolutely.
in the middle of this on the strings. I agree completely. Now, Leah, while I'm talking to you about this, I also want to talk about the upkeep for these kinds of exhibits when people come. I mean, it's constant. God love our building management crew. They are out there, you know, just working their tails off every day to make sure everything is spick and span. Our discovery leaders are out there. It takes a lot to maintain our museum. It is a lot. And we have hundreds of thousands of people coming through there every week. So how do we do it? It is obviously with development and donors, and we could not do it without our partners. So, Leah, I know you and the development team have been working a lot lately on our Sip and Savor events. I want you to tell us what Sip and Savor is and what you have previously done. You have had 2 so far. Give us kind of a little rundown of those and what's to come.
Absolutely. So in the past, Sip and Savor has been a completely bourbon event.
Right.
Prior to COVID, it was at the Clay Center. It was kind of a day event.
Right.
Transitioned during COVID to go to the restaurants in the community, which I think was a great move.
Yeah.
It gives the restaurant, you know, more ways to display what they can do in their own setting, which is great. It was still a bourbon event when it transitioned to that, but this year we have transitioned yet again to include things that are not just bourbon. So this year our tagline is a different spirit at every stop. So we have a
Nice.
series of 8 events. They started last month We had one tequila.
Yeah, I see our
at
pictures. We got the
1010
tequila at
Bridge,
1010 there.
and we did Grey Goose vodka at Soho's.
Ah.
Which again, the restaurants are also really excited about this transition because, you know, they choose the menu.
Right.
We work together on what spirit they're going to feature.
Uh-huh.
And then it really gives their chefs a way to showcase what they can do. And especially with places like 1010 Bridge that aren't necessarily known for, you know, that type of food.
Right. Yeah.
It gives them that variety too. So it's
Yeah.
really exciting. We have 6 more coming up. They will run through the end of June, so keep a lookout on our website for all of those.
That is so exciting. I know. I mean, gosh, everyone, don't tell my mother this. I don't like bourbon, but there are other spirits that I do enjoy. So, I mean, that was always kind of a pullback for me on that. So that is so exciting to see. How many places or slots do you have typically open for people to come and enjoy an event like this?
So we only have 50 tickets per event.
Okay.
Yeah. I will say our final event will be bourbon to still, you know,
Grand finale, right?
That audience, and there will be more tickets available for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, typically 50 tickets per event.
Okay, gotcha. So again, people can go on theclaycenter.org on our regular ticketing website, and they can get their tickets for upcoming Sip and Savors. So that's it's really exciting. I know you've had a lot of people from our Chairman's Guild come, but anybody can come to this, right? It is open to the public that they can check out.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. We've seen a lot of new faces.
Great.
A lot of people that haven't necessarily done things with the Clay Center before. And we've created a buzz around this event, which is great too. You know, now that it is this series and that there is this variety, kind of to your point about not liking bourbon, it kind of hits all of our targets as far as
I know.
maybe not just the bourbon drinker, but yeah.
Yeah, that was always the slowdown with me and my husband. My husband was, prior to me working at the Clay Center, he was always, I want to go check out the bourbon event. And I was like, you go by yourself.
And, you know,
love the Clay Center, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. So,
Right.
so this is great that you get to bring in a new audience like that and kind of, and also give the chefs a chance to kind of work outside the box and develop a menu that's going to really correlate well with the different spirits you have.
Exactly, yeah. And I think it gives us, you know, more opportunity to pair with other organizations in the community.
Sure.
That are also trying to support local restaurants while supporting the Clay Center. You know, these events are really fun and we have a great time, but, you know, it all does come back that a portion of the ticket sales does support STEAM education at the Clay Center, and that's what's most important. That's the mission of Friends of Clay, the group that plans these events, and, you know, we talk about that a lot at all of these dinners to make sure that people do realize that, you know, by attending this event and having fun, they are supporting education at the Clay Center.
Absolutely. It's always a great event, but there's a great cause behind it. And along with that, talking about STEAM education, I mean, that is truly, yes, the Clay Center is obviously a fun place to go and enjoy, a fun place to work, but it takes a lot for us to maintain this and continue to offer this in our community. And one thing we deal with a lot, I know obviously now we're moving into the spring months, summer's, you know, just around the corner. Thank heaven. So, you know, a lot of families are going to have a little more time to be able to come and visit us. And one of the things we've really been pushing out there lately is that people really need to consider looking at a membership at the Clay Center.
Absolutely.
Those will help you save, although we have one of the most affordable admissions in the country. It adds up. It adds up when you bring, you know, multiple children, multiple family members. When you become a member of the Clay Center, you get so many additional benefits. You actually, you know, not only you don't have to worry about paying every time you come in, you've paid this one flat fee. You get to come in there and enjoy the Clay Center, but if you're going around this summer, if you go to COSI, if you go to other ASTC museums, you actually get to use this membership. You get to go there for free. I mean, it absolutely pays over in dividends, and also you get first access to a lot of times you can join our concert club, you can get our member magazine, you guys will get the first information when you are a Clay Center member. So again, just like we said, if you want to get tickets for Sip and Savor, anything like that, you want to make sure that you go to theclaycenter.org and check out our membership tab. Get on there. There are several options available. There's individual, there's concert club, there's family membership, so you can find one and tailor it to what is best for you and your family. So make sure you get on there, check it out, especially coming up in the summer when you're going to have a little more time and you still want to save a buck when you come and visit us as well too. So moving on, we also want to hit on the fact that we have some really exciting things coming up in our art museum here very soon. Recently, We just opened up the Ellie Shaw exhibit.
Oh my gosh.
I know you went walking through there the other day.
Gosh.
So bright, so vibrant, and she's a local artist, and it is just so fun. So we actually finally had the chance to have Ellie come in. She's, come and visited when the opening happened and everything, but she kind of made a special stop through the other day to walk through the exhibit and give us some information so we could share with our Clay Corner video viewers here. So we want to kind of give you this little tour that Ellie gave us through a couple of her segments of her exhibit now. Check it out with her and Liz Simmons, our art curator. You're really going to enjoy it.
I'm Ellie Shaw, and this is my 60 years worth of work. Today I want to talk about the Boxes and Boxes series. The Boxes and Boxes series started with me doodling with watercolor and testing my brush and different brush techniques. And I did these little sort of doodle watercolors. And at the time, I worked at the art store. I was gallery director at the art store. And the art store had a frame shop. And the frame shop had all of these extra pieces of wood. So I said to the owner of the art store, Sherry Lovett, I said, make me some frames and I'm going to decorate them and put these little doodle paintings inside these decorated frames. So it turned out that I was having so much fun doing these that I did enough for a complete show that was at the University of Charleston. And people just loved them. They just really loved them. So I did, these are two paintings from that exhibition, I think in 1980. Some paintings that I've done of the hollow and the houses, those houses are no longer there because they've either been abandoned, torn down, or trees fallen on them and crushed them and whatever. So it's kind of fun. They're all Ruffner. This is Ruffner too. This one is a little bit further. This painting is right around the bend here. This time of year is particularly beautiful to drive the hollow because all of the trees, the hollow is just shaded in by this canopy of trees, and it's they're all starting to bud out now, so it's really a fun time to visit. These are all springtime, and then the colors from the trees, I think I've taken and moved them into the buildings. Like this color right here would be from one of the spring trees that bloom on the mountainside. And the yellows and the pinks. This house right here happened to be one of my husband's employees lived in this house years ago. So right now, so that kind of fascinated me. And I think that's why it's so prominent right here. Lots of people say to me, well, the hollow never looks so beautiful. Well, that's sort of a standard response to these. But to me, the hollow is beautiful.
I love that. I love that quote at the end. As a former holler girl, I really, really appreciate her saying that. That is so sweet. But her work is just so vibrant, so beautiful. I know probably my favorite pieces in it. I love that holler series in the spring trees.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gone through and seen
I
always go through and pick favorite pieces.
I love the wardrobe. The pieces of
gorgeous?
furniture that she paints just blow my mind.
Yeah, doing the boxes
So
and boxes
intricate.
and how like
Yes.
some of the furniture pieces are very similar to those actual like pieces that are hanging up. It's so neat. And I also love the lunch pail. The lunch pail is so
Yes.
cute. And apparently that was a big trend back in the day too. It's very vogue to have a painted
Really?
lunch
I
pail.
didn't know that.
I feel like that's something we should bring back. Like I always feel
agree.
kind of cruddy whenever I'm bringing, basically a Lunchable to work.
Yeah.
I need to have a really
about to
stylish
start
lunch pail.
Painting on my brown paper bag that I
I know, right? Like we need to commission some pieces to actually have decent looking lunch fare now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, make sure that you go and check out Ellie's gorgeous exhibit. This encompasses 60 years of her work. There are nearly 60 pieces in it. You can just lose so much time just walking around enjoying the zen of it, the vibrant color, and it's so neat to go through and see the different phases and development of Ellie Shaw's work as you go. She did a lot of work just focusing on interstates, some of it just on beaches, some doing these boxes and boxes. It's just so cool to go through and see everything that she's done. But that exhibit is up through June 6th, I believe. So make sure you make some time to visit it. And also opening this month, we're very excited to actually have a former person that worked at the Clay Center, Ric Ambrose, is bringing his patchwork recent drawings to us. He has a workshop that actually just happened over the weekend, but you will be absolutely enamored. And it is such a cool contrast while our art team has been hanging this up to see you go from the big venue with all of Ellie's work, and it's so colorful, and then you walk into our small gallery and there's Ric's, and it's all black and white, and it is, and I mean, his drawings just truly look, they are life on paper. Everything looks so realistic, just absolutely gorgeous. So we're very excited to have Ric returning to us. If you're familiar with the good old Sunrise days, you would have seen Ric there, and he was there at the Clay Center in the beginning too. So we're very excited to have him back in town. So make sure that you come and check that exhibit out too. It is really, really a showstopper, and like I say, it's so cool to go from one gallery to the next because the contrast is incredible. Along with that, we also have an Art After Dark event coming up in April. So, you know, if you ever are busy during the day and you really want to get a chance to have a really cool experience, come to Art After Dark. It is free. This month, it's on April 21st. I know we have some really exciting programming coming up in there. I think we're doing watercolor bubbles and things like that. Yeah, there's always a little make and take art piece that you get to take home with you. You also get to obviously enjoy Ellie Shaw and Ric Ambrose's work. You get to visit those galleries for free that night. We always have music coming and kind of setting the mood for us. It's just a great evening. So make sure that you come out for Art After Dark. Leah, did you get to go to the last one in March?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was, I know we had hundreds of people come to that one. I mean,
well, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Right, so of course, what better place. I mean, and it really is just so fun to be able to see so many people that a lot of times don't get the opportunity or the chance to visit, and they get to come for Art After Dark. We have a lot of repeat people, but if you've never been before, I mean, now is a great time to go. We always have a blast at it.
Oh, absolutely. And now that the weather is getting nicer, hopefully it'll stay that way. Just to continue that walk from Art Walk down to the Clay Center is great for people as well.
Yeah, and that brings up a great point too. This always goes hand in hand with Art Walk that's going on in downtown Charleston. And we always encourage everybody, you can park for free at the Clay Center, walk down, enjoy all the offerings at Art Walk, and then once you wrap up there, you come and you end your evening with us, grab your car. It's super convenient. You can just make a whole evening of it. So we hope you can come and join us on the 21st. We also have an upcoming rug hooking workshop. And that's kind of inspired by some of Ellie Shaw's work. But this is going to be taught by Susan Feller. Really, really interesting takes on this. If you get a chance to come see Ellie's exhibit, you'll be able to see her rug hooking exhibits and pieces. Really, really gorgeous pieces. But you'll actually get to make your own. This is one of those workshops that I actually have gone, oh, okay, I think I actually want to give that one a try. I do not have a lot of confidence in my artistic skill, but this is one I would love to see. I can already tell you, by the time you're watching this, the first session in the morning may already be sold out by then. A few spots left in the afternoon session, so make sure you get on there quickly. Again, theclaycenter.org, you can get your tickets and enroll and be in that workshop. So, all right, so now we get to the fourth and final branch of the Clay Center, which is performance, which is my favorite, and I think it's Leah's too. So we want to talk about some of the upcoming performances we have at the Clay Center. First things first, we have to talk about Anastasia. And again, as this is coming up, when you're seeing Clay Center Corner, if you're seeing this later in the week, may be too late for you. Hopefully you got tickets, where I know we have been dwindling with these tickets because Anastasia is absolutely incredible. Are you an Anastasia fan?
Absolutely.
Okay, movie fan, or is it just a fan of the musical?
Just the musical.
The musical?
Yeah. I don't know why. I always thought that maybe it was a little creepy.
Okay, there were some.
And the musical is gorgeous.
Gorgeous, it is.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the film I thought always had like a darker tone.
It does. It does. It
than the
absolutely
musical.
does. Yeah.
So
I don't know what it was for those of us growing up as millennials. We got those really dark animated films that came out then. But some of the songs, maybe more uplifting parts of the movie, are in the musical, as well as this original score that actually came out of here as well. And really, Anastasia is so perfect because it's got a little something for everybody. Yes, if you have a little one that likes princesses, oh, they're going to love it. If you're a history buff, yes, this is based on the Grand Duchess Anastasia and the whole, did she disappear? Was she killed? Where is she? I mean, it truly kind of gives you all that story and history. And then obviously, if you're a musical fan like us, yes, incredible music, gorgeous flying sets. The costumes are amazing. And also the fact that Anastasia is being played by Kyla Stone, who's the first African-American woman to play this iconic role. So very excited to see her. I mean, the feedback I've seen everywhere else that this show has been phenomenal. It's been packed pretty much everywhere they've gone, and we are going to be no different.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're seeing this early in the week, you got a chance to snag a ticket. Possibly.
Maybe.
They are dwindling into the week. Sorry about your luck. You should have been keeping up with Clay Center Corner and everything else that we're putting out there constantly to remind you about the great shows. But we won't judge you if you didn't make it to that. Maybe you can make it to Jersey Boys. So that's just a couple weeks later on April 27th. I am always so excited anytime this show comes to town because this music, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, my mom brought me up on it.
Same. You can't beat it.
Do you have a favorite song from this one?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Let's hear yours.
I got to go with Sherry. I just love it. Frankie Valli's voice is just so, the fact that they actually have guys that can encompass that original sound, it's amazing. But they do it on April 27th. You will not want to miss it. Make sure you get your tickets. That one has been selling maybe the quickest of all of them. So they have really been flying. And then, in case you did have tickets for Hairspray, which was supposed to happen at the end of March, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, they did have to reschedule. You are so lucky because you are going to get the chance to come and see it on West Virginia Day at the Clay Center now. So it has been rescheduled for June 20th. If you had tickets, your tickets will still be able to be used that night. If you didn't get tickets the first time, we have just a few that are left now, so snag those while you still can so you can come out and check out Hairspray. A couple more quick reminders here as we're wrapping things up. SoundChecks is coming up April 15th with Levon. I'm so excited. They opened for REO Speedwagon in December.
And the buzz around them after REO was insane. I don't know that I've ever seen an opener with that many people in line at their merch table after a headlining show.
Yes, I mean, they were incredible, and it was such a love affair with the audience. I mean, the audience was in there treating them as though they were the main stage event, and they could have been, and so we are so excited to have them back for SoundChecks. Make sure you get tickets for that. And then coming up in May, we also have Need to Breathe coming to the Clay Center, and they are just such a cool acoustic Southern rock vibe. You're absolutely going to love it. Look, Leah, you've got like that same hat that guy has on. That's perfect. I love it. You can rock that whole vibe for this show.
Absolutely will.
And those tickets are selling quickly as well. I know we already have over 1,000 people coming to that show, so make sure you check that out. And finally, to wrap it up, coming up this summer, we have Jason Isbell coming, so you want to make sure you come and see him and the 400 unit. They also have special guest Bully coming with him. That's August 23rd, so it's going to be a great way to wrap up your summer with a great show. And I think we're also going to have some other show announcements coming up here very, very soon. We won't say anything yet, but you're going to want to tune back in here very soon. Again, Leah, thanks for joining me today and talking about all the awesome things that are the Clay Center. And we're looking forward to coming and seeing you again here in a couple weeks to tell you about more fun stuff we have going on at the Clay Center. If we don't see you at the museum before then, we'll see you next time.